Welcome back to the show. Game 2 coming up here in just a second between Enemy and the Clowns. First game going to Enemy. What you got?
Twitter confirmation, PandaCats are real. They are cats dressed up as pandas. Thank you, Twitter.
Can we just go to picks and bans?
Game 2.
Are we ready for that?
We'll have to see what happens. In my opinion, though, getting into a more serious tone now, ban the Odin.
Yeah,
I don't know how long it's going to take, but like...
Or at least pick it.
I don't think Randozos even watched that LG versus Enemy game. There's no way they did. Absolutely no way. Aduro destroyed by Odin all game. Even with physical and magical protection in his first 3 items.
Isis going to be locked away immediately. I guess they agreed. Aduro had a pretty good game despite having to go into that early bulwark. Not scary enough, I guess. Randozos option to ban here, likely to be Odin. Odin Kali will probably be the best bans here.
I would say so. You do leave Khepri open for Enemy, but honestly, with how good...
Nerfed. Invade.
Honestly, with how good Odin has been, like, you can't leave him open. Enemy, actually, I think, doing Randozos a favor here by banning away Khepri. More than likely to see the Kali taken away from Varizial in this last pick. What? Lag? Production?
Is there someone near...
Who's near
someone
Vulcan?
Near V? That they should have banned.
Zeus is kind of close.
Are Vulcan and Zeus next to each other?
It's Zeus and John.
WXY. Any character? Oh, no, Shibalanke's in between that.
Oh man.
So this was
Lag?
they're just banning Vulcan.
Okay. Hey, I'm assuming these teams have scrimmed, so this may be directly targeted at Khaos. We have seen a buff to Vulcan as
Vulcan
well.
Is sick, man.
The ult's coming out much faster now, so we'll have to see. Hou Yi going to be first picked once again for Enemy. PandaCat obviously having an okay impact, but still getting 1v1'd by Meerkat. And PolarBearMike, I think, on his best god and Athena.
Athena going to be taken here. Geb's still available for Enemy should they choose to counter, or rather just pick in.
And that's definitely a pick I see coming for PainDeViande.
Where is Kali?
Wait, Kali wasn't banned.
Kali wasn't banned or picked.
Serket, honestly, a very good matchup versus Kali, but it's still, you can't run the risk of maybe I can time my ultimate at the right time and kill the Kali.
I mean, you don't really need that much.
It's so risky.
If Kali ults and you wait 1 second, she'll die to your ultimate, guaranteed, unless she has Sanctuary. That is a guarantee. The issue here is that, well, I mean, that's assuming that she gets down to 1 health during the ultimate. How is Serket going to last long enough to deal with Kali's nonsense? That's the problem. I
mean, Serket's really going to have to come up big in the mid game, right? Before Serket, pre-level 5 can do a little bit if the opponents kind of step out of position, but really it's about 5. The second this Serket hits 5, it's going to be like Hunbat's, where she can't wait till late game, though. She has to force fights. We really need to see Eonic make a lot of rotations. And speaking of a lot of rotations, double globals already coming out for Randozos with Athena Janus. Yeah. And I really like this for kind of a pick-off based comp. The problem is, I don't know if they're an experienced enough team to try and take advantage of a composition like this.
Well, either way, they get Janus. Isis is already banned. They take away Raijin. All the top tiers are gone now. Zeus to follow as well.
Really like that.
So not a bad spot for Enemy to be in. But
I want Enemy to pick a dominating soul laner. I want someone that they can just bully the lane with, guaranteed.
Guan Yu is open, and that would be the go-to.
Amaterasu, though, still available. Has a very good matchup, and we already know Marauder can play it.
Not a bully. If you want
but
to bully,
at the very least, it controls. It controls the Guan Yu, is what I'm saying.
Nobody controls Guan Yu. Guan Yu cares not for silly magic.
Are you going to RP?
Yeah, I might for the rest of the game.
Just RP Guan Yu. Only if it's picked up, though.
Only if it's picked.
It's going to be actually Neith picked up for the Hunter role. So everything to me is saying that Randozos are looking for these early game pickoffs. They have the Janus ult. They have the double global ult, which is Athena, Neith. Yeah. This is perfect for ganking. Really good for shutting down solo lane, more specifically, because Athena ult's doing magical damage, and most physical soul laners are going physical protections early on, as well as the stun to guarantee a setup as taunt as well. On the left-hand side, it will be Bellona going to Marauder and Soul for the mid lane.
Yeah, looks like Khaos is going to get that one. Final option for Randozos, looking for their solo laner. A few things still open. I really would like to see Hades here.
Hades could do really good against Bellona, especially if you can burn that ultimate, guaranteed dead. She's locked in place.
Late game, if Hou Yi or Soul are caught with their jumps down, it's done. Let's see here. Final pick, only a few more seconds remaining.
Could look to go into Amaterasu as well if they want a little bit more late game, but at this point, I say you just go full on early game, look for someone who can control, but it will be the team fighter for late game. Janus Serket do carry over pretty well as long as the Serket is left untouched in team fights, right? If you don't have the proper peel, obviously a pretty good counter for Kali as well. And for me, I'm just looking at Randozos. I want to see them be forcing these fights. The second they're level 5, I need to see ganks, or else I don't think they're using this team comp properly.
Only a few more seconds until minion spawns here. You see the Gold Fury jumping around the map. Build-wise, it looks like everything's pretty similar across the board. You'll notice the helm coming out from Aduro.
This is really surprising. I feel like this is definitely an item that he's looking to pick up on every single mage. There's been a couple players who have gone it if they need to be a little bit more tanky early. We've seen it on Zeus and Raijin, most specifically. But Aduro, it seems this is an item he wants to pick up on every single mage. Really worried about the damage coming out from junglers.
Khaos took a lot of damage there. Only has 1 health potion. You'll note 2 mana potions. He starts with Tiny Trinket to start the game off.
Going to be looking to control this lane as Eonic makes a late rotation to mid, level 2 for enemy. And they're going to be controlling these left-hand side Harpies. More than likely to see the Randozos take the right-hand side Harpies uncontested.
Yet neither team starting at the mids. A little strange.
Yeah, I guess neither were very confident in their 2v2, right? Amaterasu, Serket, not the best. Kali Bellona probably should have tried.
Bellona
definitely should have taken it. I mean, at the very least, you're baiting Scary D to get his dash to silence the bludgeon. Maybe at the best. But enemy playing it safe 4 down, and I do kind of like that decision for the most part. Getting into late game, outplay your team, or excuse me, your opponents with kind of objective control like they did in game 1. Left-hand side, though, Geb and Hou Yi real pushback.
PandaCat on the left side. PainDeViande continuing to push forward. All that new Athena skin. I forgot this is out. What an awesome skin.
Is this the SPL one? Oh, no, this is the police one.
PandaCat with these shots, man.
He ain't playing. And look at him. He's jumping in place. He knows.
He has hit more double taps than most hunters will hit the move at all.
Standing still, right? If their opponents are standing still and they'll miss it.
Oh, Scary D choosing to tank the archers. Marauder letting him do this for free. It still looks like Scary D will lose most of the gold there. Yeah, another
pretty sure Marauder also was able to steal away the boar on the right-hand side. Just Bellona going to be controlling Amaterasu early on, right? Amaterasu at the best is just going to be able to silence out the bludgeon, but even then she gets the AoE autos. It's very potent, and Amaterasu, she just can't clear early. We saw how effective she could be heading into the late game, but you still got to get her there. Khaos and Varizial still going to be level 4 here. Eonic, Aduro level 4 as well. Back camps, I think, going to keep them just shy. I'm pretty sure the experience is even from both these 2v2s, and it appears to be so.
With Marauder being level 5 and having control of the lane, I want to see him push and then get out of this lane. Go for the mid, try to lock down Janus and get that kill as early as possible. Janus, of course, will have beads and ways out, but there are ways for Bellonas to burst him down.
Look at this. Boar's being pressured, and enemy is actually zoning out the rotation from Randozos. The boars are stolen, but you could see enemy not wanting it to turn into a 4v2 on the left-hand side.
PandaCat taking a lot of damage, and you'll note not a lot of mana in the pool with that.
That's the thing. You're hitting the cheeky double taps, but you're losing a lot of mana for it as well.
He has a mana pot ticking. He still has a few potions.
Eonic, he's going to be looking for PainDeViande. Finds both, and now Pain's in an awkward spot. They're going to wait for the rollout to use the taunt. You can see it. Knock up. There's the rollout, but PolarBearMike going to be stunned out. Meerkat secures it with the ult. This is what the composition needs to be doing all game. The next 5 to 10 minutes, just pick players off. With your triple globals, they can't match you. They actually can't.
I need to see more rotations coming out from Eonic, though. I mean, yes, he did get that, but he's giving Varizial time to farm, and it's way more important that Kali gets gold than Serket at this stage.
Blue buff stolen away. Varizial actually going to turn on Aduro as he hears him takes the portal. Just a little bit of poke. There's the Stellar Burst as well. Aduro says, no thank you. Eonic's here, but PolarBearMike has rotated it well. There is the Purification coming out from Varizial. He still has jump. Oh no, not for 3 more seconds.
And ultimate will get him out of danger. Jumping over. Marauder looking for a kill, but a beautiful portal gets him out of there. Somehow, both junglers escape with the skin of their teeth. Oh no!
D.
Where did you come from?
Coming in from behind. He is the target. You can see knock up. PainDeViande is going to slow Scary D, but not enough damage. Last auto just off the mark.
Well, of course he's the target now. She just...
That's true. Come on, man. I can't think that fast. I did improv stuff today.
How'd it go?
It was pretty fun. Hindu Man is so bad at it, though. Hindu Man?
Never heard of him.
He just kept coming up with horses. He kept talking about horses.
For those of you unknowing, we have a guy that comes in that does improv classes for our on-screen talent, which is pretty fun.
It's only been a couple weeks so far.
It's 2 weeks, right?
It's going pretty good. One of the little games for no one's gonna understand this, right? But one of the first games we did was Zip Zap Zop, right?
Oh, yeah.
Regardless of what the game was, I'm really disappointed in FDOT because he had the perfect spot to use it, because immediately after it was Eager versus, I believe it was Allegiance, and the zip from the Ratatosker, the zap because the zap, zop because it got the kill. No one's getting this reference.
No one
But I'm just really disappointed that FDOT didn't use it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So Randozos up 2-0 in kills, a much better start to the second game. We're able to successfully get the first blood. Their composition for me really based around getting picks, and I think with these global ultimates back up, I expect Eonic to take a trip somewhere pretty soon.
Trouble here. Scary D going into his ultimate.
Turning it around?
Maybe. Yeah, look at this. Forced into the ultimate pretty early, and that not going to do it. A few more hits,
dead.
though. A few more hits. Nice disarm, but he's running the wrong way. Oh, my. Oh, what?
Oh.
Why is the whole team here? This is like my ranked game.
That's going to be 2 picked
Full
off.
Fury is up.
4 members, but see, that's the thing, though. Meerkat actually has the advantage on the PandaCat, which means enemy can't force that. That's a fantastic rotation. Great use of globals. I love this. Boar stolen. Tier 1 tower on the right-hand side, going to be pressured, more than likely down. Randozos are playing this exactly how they need to. They got themselves a 1,200 gold lead for now, and
Yeah, we got ourselves a game here, Kevin.
Varizial, once again, a little bit of a non-impact, right? Last game, some pretty big, important kills, but a lot of mechanical mistakes.
And he's not going into Ickfall, he's going into the chin size, which means he's a long ways away from getting that power spike, and even then, getting more than 2 or 3 hits off in a fight with the way things have been going.
So PandaCat is actually on the wrong side of the map. Not sure if you noticed that they're going to be dueling out. Actually jumps into the jungle.
And actually, that messed up PolarBearMike as much as it messed us up.
He was just like, what?
He's like, where did he go? Why didn't he jump towards this tower? Crazy guy.
Right-hand side, the blue buff going to be spawning again. It was stolen away the first time by enemy. They're actually looking to turn around on Eonic.
Beautiful.
A lot of burst. There's the soul ultimate, the double knock-up. First the ground pound coming up from Geb, then the soul ultimate connecting, and Eonic, no hope for him.
There was no way to move. Even if he actually got the ambush to start, it would have been canceled immediately. PandaCat trying to make a play, instead will use his ultimate just as a way to get that wave cleared. Meerkat stuck here. Gold Fury still
Oh,
available.
no, he's going to interrupt us. Look at this. PolarBearMike actually rotating from the jungle as well. I don't think he has the damage. Can we highlight PolarBearMike, see if he has shield wall leveled up?
He's got the damage, but my man's got the purification.
Oh, the snipe!
Do you think it hit?
I don't know, man. No, it didn't hit.
No, it definitely did not hit. It was way too much damage.
He probably would have been 100-0 if he got actually hit by it.
Oh, it was, yeah, definitely. Enemy has a kill, though. They're on the board now.
Nice pickoff on Eonic, and you'll also note Eonic actually going blink. I didn't notice it at first. No purification, really wanting to take to that kind of aggressive stance of the composition. There's the police sirens. What? Look out, PandaCat, you're under arrest.
What? Hashtag one more wave.
Oh, man.
My man's just staying around. How
You're
many
under
times
arrest?
can you escape death? Yeah, I get it, because she's a con. Oh, big shot from Varizial. Janus, though, you know. That was...
This is actually the second time the gank is turned around on Varizial. Aduro, fearless. He's low, under 25%. Varizial should survive this. Yeah, definitely going to survive it with the Geb shield.
Didn't even need the Geb shield.
Come on, Pan. You should know that.
Actually, he might have needed that Geb shield.
I don't think so.
He had a little bit more than 2 bubbles on that Geb shield.
$5 bet we can watch the VOD back. He would have enough. We'll count how much damage from the Geb shield.
I'm down.
$5.
I'm down.
He would have survived.
$5?
All right.
That's like...
Someone do that for us. We don't want to do it. We're too lazy.
I think the Geb shield saved him.
Okay. Right-hand side, you can see Marauder sitting in lane. Scary D actually looking to proxy the wave, puts a ward very deep in. Left-hand side, Gold Fury has not even been looked at so far, but enemy 9 minutes in, they're going to look for it. And it's actually already at half. They're looking to commit.
That Spirit Gun doing some decent damage. Enemy still gets it, but might lose some people for it. PainDeViande the fall. Backflip coming out from Neith, and I think that should wash. No, wow. Okay.
Objective control continuing to be a problem for Randozos. Nice intercept from Khaos. Scary D is rotated in, but 4 members of enemy are going to walk out of here for free. And this is something Randozos need to work on.
Have we seen one objective taken that wasn't a tier 1 tower from the Randozos yet?
I think that's it. It was the left tier 1 in game 1.
Yeah, I think that's all we've seen so far. Their ability to outplay their opponent in terms of fighting seems to be on par. It seems to be equal to enemy, if not a little better. We're at 6-1 again, but we're in the same scenario. The gold is even because they keep giving up the map.
And I really like this composition for Randozos for getting these pick-off kills, and they were doing it. The problem is the game is even. An enemy heading into late game, they look real good. Not only Kali, but Hou Yi and the Geb to protect both, Marauder to zone the back line, and you can't focus Khaos if a Kali's ripping through your team. It's going to be real hard for Randozos if this game goes 20, 25, 30 minutes without them having a significant lead.
A little bit greedy there by Scary D jumping in. He doesn't quite know that there are so many people around. They'll know now as a 4v4 is shaping up. Advantage right now to the Randozos with those global ultimates coming out possibly from the left side. PainDeViande, decent damage though, turning this one around real quick.
Eonic going to take a little bit of his health. Should be able to dash out of there just fine. And
Fire Giant.
Neither team able to survive the burst. Stop. Neither team able to find the burst they need, and that's something that enemy's going to be able to do the later this game goes. Ooh, in the mid lane, actually, Marauder jumps forward. PolarBearMike going to find a taunt. There's the Geb shield.
They definitely could have did the Fire Giant. And it would have been the hottest Fire Giant in, like, SPL history.
No, the hottest Fire Giant in SPL history is the one that never happened when Denial committed when it spawned at 10:10 instead of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That was the hottest Fire Giant, and it never even got taken.
Poor Maze. Poor Maze.
You can see the rotation coming in. There's PolarBearMike looking for the taunt. He's going to find it on Varizial.
Oh,
nice
wow.
Geb shield. Varizial forced to beads, makes it over the wall. Oh! Scary D snipes him out. Speaking of snipes, in a bad spot is Marauder. No mana,
He's
rooted
caught.
in place. Eonic finds a second kill.
That was really impressive. Scary D, blind shot over the wall with a pretty incredible accuracy. Finds a kill, and then, of course, the return, a pretty damn good ult from Eonic as well to not only stop any return damage, but pick up another one. 8-1 now. We'll go to the graphs. Despite a 7-kill advantage, you'll note only a 900 gold lead.
Middle lane, Khaos not going to get taunted out.
Was so cute.
PainDeViande didn't even know what was happening, and now this tier 1 in mid should get taken. 5 members. Actually, Khaos, his corporeal form is out. We're going to see Scary D recognize that, but the rest of the team focusing on just the tower. Eonic, don't get caught lazy backing.
Oh, man.
Just barely.
So right there, Athena starts walking at Soul, and you're thinking, okay, Soul, how do I get out of this? She has bead. She knows, okay, I can bait this, no problem. And then out of nowhere, PBM just hits him with a hot 90-degree turn and finds a Geb into the unstable vortex.
PainDeViande had his targeter on Khaos.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh,
and that's why Khaos didn't panic. He's like, Pain's like, I got you with the shield. Let him taunt you. And that's what they were trying to bait out. And then
the whole
PBM's
time,
like, nah.
The whole time, Randozos, that wasn't like a last-minute audible. That was planned. Because how fast the team reacted to that call, that's a good pull. PandaCat in some trouble. Rooted inside the shield wall.
Oh, no.
And, wow, PolarBearMike on a killing spree.
And you could see the purification was actually held by PandaCat, not expecting to get rooted inside the shield wall. The second tick of that does so much damage. You can see the extra damage. The two-man talk coming out, and look at this. Randozos, they're trying to control this game. Cataclysm in response. PolarBearMike in a lot of trouble. Varizial finds the last hit.
Oh no, Geb Shield's still available. It looks like he'll be able to get out of there just barely. They're looking for a kill on the Khaos. Sanctuary gets burned, and oh, that was a huge mistake right there. She accidentally auto-attacked trying to get Radiance off.
Probably dead
and
either
slowed
way.
herself.
Probably dead either way.
No, yeah, probably. But, I mean, any chance of her getting away was ruined with that one. Scary D in some trouble here. What you doing, man?
Getting his blue buff and walking away. Eagles Rally is available,
Marauder.
but Scary D. So, for those like Scary D who don't understand, or excuse me, Marauder who don't understand, the white aura actually gives you movement speed, making you faster.
And given the fact that she's level 13, she's looking at, I think, at least 12%.
And Eagles Rally not going to outrange that.
Is it 3 per level, or is it 4% per level?
It's too much.
Can we actually hover on Divine Presence? Yeah, let's see. Oh, what? It's 5
per level, 25% for anyone in that aura. And now Scary D actually taking a trip back to the base. He's going to be here and force Marauder out of his own jungle.
So he had at least 20% movement speed extra there. Now he has 25 at level 14.
That was a lot. Mid lane here. So Randozos actually, once again, up 11-2 in kills, but enemy, they've taken the only gold tier. I really want to see Randozos cannot let the next one get snuck, right?
Yeah.
You let 2 in game 1 get snuck. You got bamboozled, I think, and had a tower eliminated as well. And then in game 2, repeat performance, you lose a Gold Fury, you don't have the ward vision on it. And I'm pretty sure that Randozos are going to be sitting on this Gold Fury for the rest of the game.
I saw an unstable vortex get sent out at the Gold Fury. It looks like they're starting this up. PainDeViande, of course, right in the neighborhood. Not going to let this one go for free. PolarBearMike taking a fair amount of damage for his attempts here. PainDeViande walking into danger.
PainDeViande going to get taunted into more danger. Sun's over the top just to zone for PainDeViande, who will be able to walk out, but Scary D behind the team.
And he's going to stun out PainDeViande. Looks like should be able to get away. Scary D diving to the back line. Not really a great way out of this. They're still trying to commit to PolarBearMike very heavily.
Just in time. Cataclysm should keep PainDeViande alive for 1 second, but a nice taunt from Eonic. One more hit.
Oh, no.
Last one going to be Eonic once again.
Left side, it looks like still trying to fight their way in. Marauder and PandaCat. Marauder getting his ultimate back. Should have a way in, but it's the final ultimate available for enemy. We still have 2 left on the side of Randozos. Both Athena getting an extra health bar if necessary, and then, of course, Eonic for not only an interrupt, but true damage and healing reduction. As it looks like enemy
needs to zone.
Going to try to make the attempts here.
Eagles Rally is available. Varizial as well with Destruction. This
could
be trouble. Blink and Randozos do secure the Gold Fury, but it's going to be a fight. A 5-man ultimate coming out from Marauder, and it looks like enemy might be able to change this fight.
Eonic using his ultimate a little bit too soon will not find the kill onto Varizial. The Kali ult will allow him to survive for now. Oh no! Marauder not choosing the right target, but it still goes down to Khaos, able to cover the option. It winds up being a, it looks like a 1-for-1 at the end there, but the Gold Fury finally going to the Randozos.
Mid-tower going to be picked up by enemy in response, and this is finally, honestly, Randozos have something going for them. They're going to lose a single player as well as a tier 1 tower, but they're screaming worth.
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to be 2,200 gold lead, I think, at the end of this, but look at this. Top of the charts right now, Khaos and Marauder, so the Soul, something to worry about. I believe only 1 death to her name so far. Oh, no, twice. She died twice, mid lane and left-hand side.
I want to see some attack speed reduction coming out here. We see a Steel Mail coming out from Athena. Hopefully that's not a Sov. I definitely want to see that attack speed reduction come out, given the fact that Marauder's auto-attacking with that Frostbound Hammer. Kali, of course, is almost all auto-attacks, especially, she's going Wingblade. How curious. Khaos can get reduced in attack speed and movement speed by that. PandaCat gets negated by it as well. And then a Runic Shield, of course.
You ever been hit by a rock?
I mean, in real life, yes.
PainDeViande going to be swinging. Actually, PainDeViande going to be in a little bit of trouble. Portaled it down, and now it's Scary D in the back line, looking to stun out a couple players. Does find 2. Root just off the mark.
This is good for enemy. They should take this. Marauder did an amazing job there, and for some reason doesn't take the Eagles rally opportunity with Varizial right on the back line.
Eonic also under half life, and Varizial actually going to be chased out. Now Marauder in an awkward spot. He's going to be taunted. 5 members surrounding him. Silenced out, locked inside, but Eagles rallies away just in time, barely keeping himself alive, and Randozos, now they're going to be sieging up this tier 2.
That's trouble. Marauder's going to get a free teleport if they continue to rush down. I think they noticed this, which is why we're seeing the back. Left side, PandaCat decides to let this attempt go. Only a few shots taken, as you see a teleport happening from Scary D.
Really smart coming out from Scary D, making sure that tier 2 tower doesn't get taken uncontested. Did PandaCat just get that tier 1, or was that down before?
No,
so
he just
PandaCat really successful there on that split push. All of enemy managed to stay alive somehow. Also getting a tier 1, almost a tier 2, forcing out that TP. Fire Giant going to be surrounded. I think just looking for the elementals. I do expect to see at least another Gold Fury fight. I don't think either team's trying to burst down the Fire Giant just yet, unless they get a deicide somehow, which, based on how this game has been going, it's realistically only Randozos were able to get that. But, I mean, the breaking point's going to happen soon. I don't think Randozos have a big enough lead for this team comp that was, designed around picking players off.
So I think the Clowns have done a good job, though, on picks and bans, because forcing PainDeViande into a support that doesn't have movement usually nets
I
pretty
think
positive
enemy
result.
messed up by leaving Khepri open, in all honesty, or banning away their own Khepri, in all honesty. I know you run the risk of losing Kali, but PainDeViande, we've seen him most successful on Athena, Khepri, and Odin. Right. Outside of that, it's just kind of mediocre.
Characters who have jumps or dashes have been very successful. Characters that allow him to play the back and the front at the same time in a short span. Geb, he's forced into Blink, only has a little bit of movement, and once he's caught, he's caught. I mean, using his own shield for himself is not always the best idea, and so far, Pain has been forced in that decision multiple times.
Right-hand side, Randozos continue to try and put some poke pressure on. Really wanting to catch anyone left alone, and actually it's going to be PainDeViande. Cataclysm can't get off in time. There it is, but he is stunned out by Amaterasu. He's actually trying to run into his team. Oh, that was dangerous. Eagles rally. Eonic is going to be picked up. Soul Ultimate over the top, and now right-hand side, you can see Randozos. They're kind of baiting enemy into an awkward spot. Marauder just going to juke out that silence, but it doesn't matter. Aduro with a shot finds and snipes out Marauder.
Varizial in some trouble here, taunted to the back line. He still has his ultimate available to him. Shouldn't get caught here, but it's still a 2-for-1 at the end of the fight. Randozos continuing on. Varizial trying to turn this one. Jumps away before that silence can come off.
Just a 1-for-1 though. Randozos definitely wanting to kill PainDeViande and then reset the fight. But PolarBearMike gonna find PandaCat doing his buff. Half-life, there's Purification. Jumps away, but another relic on cooldown for enemy.
Yeah, those beads, I think that was a really unnecessary burn. PandaCat was out of position. He gets dove really easily. I mean, he had to get out of there, but he didn't need to be there. And as a result, the next fight, he is going to be the target.
0-7-5 coming out from this dual lane of enemy has not been effective. Varizial also, not too many big plays this game. Last game really suffered mechanically, but now that he's on Kali, his team might be relying on him. And we kind of saw, it was another Kali player fall flat, Jiffy, over on Fnatic when they took on Paradigm. Just late game, wasn't like he was playing bad, but you're Kali. It's your job, 30 minutes in and full build, to carry your team.
We see a 1,000-fold blade coming out for Varizial, so it's going to be movement speed and damage. He has options to come out. It's unlikely that we're going to see Heartseeker here.
Stonecutter.
Stonecutter, more than likely. Masamune is still very good as well, especially with the buffs. It functions extremely well, actually. Oh, look at this. PainDeViande going in.
3-man Cataclysm knocks up 2, but Randozos, they don't reset the gold. There it is. They're just going to turn their attention to PainDeViande. A lot spin into this. Portal to the ground. Meerkat finds the last hit, and Scary D just zones out the rest of enemy.
And he has a way back in should he choose to go. It looks like the rest of enemy is trying to back off here.
They're just going to pick off Marauder, who's kind of stuck in the front line, really overestimating. There's Eagles rally over the top. And now just another reset. Neither team wanting to full commit to this.
And it looks like they're going to be able to get back in. Scary D able to heal himself repeatedly. Marauder going to head back, has an option to teleport back in as well. He'll be teleporting in behind the red buff. So time is ticking. Khaos is going to have a lot of damage here.
No one zoning. No one zoning. There's ultimate. Oh, Sprint actually popped. And you can see Randozos immediately recognize that they all back off. Enemy can't immediately jump in, and that's just going to be another wasted relic. The relic baits have been real from both teams.
And Scary D is getting so much health back, just putting this Divine Presence off one by one. Marauder makes an attempt there with the Scourge, but doesn't quite find it. And another Gold Fury for the Randozos, really stepping their game up in Game 2.
4,000 gold ahead. They let the first one slip. Not going to let the next two. And now, continuously looking for someone to pick off Varizial here on the side, and it looks like I think Randozos are going to spin their gold. Yeah, with Eonic backing in the mid lane, definitely could expect that. PolarBearMike just scaring off enemy. They don't have the ward vision. They don't recognize that no one's there to even back him up.
Randozos find themselves 11 kills in the lead, plus a Gold Fury over the enemy squad. Let's take a look at the graphs and show you how it's shaping up. About 4,000 gold right now, and a lot of that having to do with the fact that Scary D has been very effective this game over Marauder, much more than you would have expected.
And Scary D, he has a lot of potential, right? So last fall split, he comes in, he's this kid with a lot of mechanical prowess, but doesn't understand the game at a competitive level. We saw the same thing from Benji, aka Salt Machine, turned it around at Worlds, and that's what Scary D is trying to do here in the spring.
They're overcommitting here pretty hard. Blocked.
Cataclysm the snipe again, Aduro! Are you even real?
And look how far back that was. That was inside the Fire Giant he read that mark. Taking off Marauder again.
Unbelievable play coming out from him. Beautiful snipes.
But they did invest a lot. That was 4 ultimates used to pick off just Bellona.
That's their composition, though. That's their composition, and yeah, they could start to, they weren't punished there. They could get punished the later this game goes. Right-hand side, Tier 2 being pressured. PandaCat being left in the mid lane with the Eonic here. And Randozos, they're just going to get the poke. They're not going to overcommit.
They don't get it. Still about half health left as well as a 4v4
PainDeViande really pushed up. They don't have the ultimates, though. You were just talking about it. There's going to be the taunt, but a counter blink. Good job coming out from PainDeViande.
Eonic took some damage there, forced to jump away inside the blue buff, and nice shots from PandaCat. Send enough damage into PBM to send him packing.
Enemy on the back foot most of this game. 20 kills on the board, 16 of them belonging to Randozos. Honestly, not as big of a lead as you would expect. 2 Gold Furies, up 16 to 4 in kills. Enemy, they've managed to hold on, and they still have that time bomb. It's Kali. She's got stone cutting. The wing blade a little bit awkward, I think, delaying her build a little bit. But
small amount of attack speed's good. Movement speed is always welcome as well.
I think the the Wing Blade is definitely a nice pickup. Doesn't want to get slowed. Wants to chase down Janus through the Time Rift, but maybe just a little bit too soon.
Honestly, Kali doesn't do well with health. She doesn't really need CCR either. She really just wants to activate that purification, her ultimate, and just find her target and pick them off. I mean, that's really the goal of Kali. You need to play her as an assassin. When you build things like Wingblade, you're building her more like a frontliner, which she shouldn't be. She should be played strictly as an assassin. Now, again, she goes into the front line, uses a lot, and PolarBearMike's out of there.
And I believe PolarBearMike was the target. I thought I saw the mark on top of him. I'm not exactly sure who the last one to kill Kali was.
Hover on PBM, please.
Nope.
No.
Not the mark.
Okay. The last time we saw Kali die.
3 kills.
I would assume it's Eonic.
I don't think so.
No?
I think she just died in fire. It's been a while, or at least we don't recall. Fire Giant likely to be the next point of contention. Gold Fury going to be spawning here in a minute and a half, but 3 members of Randozos grouped. And you can see Amaterasu, Scary D over on the left-hand side. That's what Randozos need to do. They need to be getting vision on the map. They have their teleport. Start the split push. Force someone from enemy over to the left-hand side. And that's a lot of burst.
Lord. And they're going to come down on the portal as well. And that's a beautiful ultimate from Eonic, but it's not going to be enough damage. In fact, Eonic will fall. A nice shield from PainDeViande keeps the solo laner alive. Varizial in the background finds a kill as well, not the target. So it's down to either a Duro or Scary D.
And now it looks like a reset, a 1-for-0, actually a 2-for-0 in favor of enemy, but they can't find anything else off of it. PainDeViande, Varizial, way too low to fight, and Eonic actually interrupted the dash, I think, coming out for, it was Marauder, but he's stuck in the suns. That's one of the weaknesses of that Circuit ult, especially late game. If you ult, you're kind of left stuck there for at least a second and a half from the startup time to sitting on the player, silencing them, to jumping off. And that's just too much damage from this Hou Yi late game to sit in that.
And then, of course, Pain getting that Geb shield activated right as that ultimate comes out, ensuring that most of Eonic's true damage is wasted and thrown to the ether. Marauder just barely escapes. Had PainDeViande not hit that Geb shield as quickly as he did, that poison would have turned into a plague and would have ran through enemy like hay fever.
Not gonna bet you on that one. I agree with that one. Right-hand side, enemy continuing to show their objective-minded dominance. Going to be taking a tier 1 on right. Don't want to risk going for the Fire Giant just yet, especially with all of Randozos back up on spawn. And now the team, they recognize that they don't really have the superior fight. They kind of got lucky with their 2 kills, especially with how much burst Randozos were able to put on at the start of that fight. And now, enemy, they're on their back foot once again. We're going to see, I believe, PandaCat take a trip to the base, looking to finish off Chin Size.
Wow, okay, so 2 sets of Chin Size. That encourages even more attack speed reduction over on the other side. We see 1 Midgardian male, but nothing else. I would like to see at least 3 Midgardian males and a Runic shield.
PolarBearMike finding a taunt. Marauder gonna zone. Counterblink coming out from PainDeViande. Finds Meerkat in an awkward spot. Eagles rally. And Meerkat, he's in a little bit of trouble. There's the snipe. Oh, and look at this. Marauder diving so deep for Meerkat. Gonna be forced out. Scary D looking for the last hit.
He can't find it. He has to teleport right back.
There's the target as well, Scary D.
Yes, and Aduro, wow, going to take 2 hits from that Stellar Burst as well. Somehow no casualties in that fight, despite Marauder, Varizial getting very, very low on the side of enemy, and of course the Clown's getting crippled as well. Enemy starts looking over towards the left side, where they're going to be going for the Gold Fury.
Oh my god, Randozos, please don't give this one up as well. You can see Amaterasu and Athena on the right-hand side. Enemy, they're going to recognize this, and look, Aduro's doing red buff. They have no idea.
Enemy's just yelling, it's free, they're free, and it can stay free.
Who? They're free?
I mean, like, this is the 4th Gold Fury that was basically uncontested, and they know it. Enemy knows it.
I mean, they're just going to be taking these free objectives. There's no point not to. And with how much control Randozos have had over this game, they're tied in Gold Furies, right? 2 for 2, I believe. I think that says 2.
Yeah, it's 2 for 2 right now.
2 for 2. 2,000 gold difference, and Randozos, I don't think they have the lead they need. They do not have the lead they need. This needs to be much wider. The towers are even as well. For how much control Randozos have had over this game, 16-6 in kills. They're even in towers, and they're even in Gold Fury.
When you think about a kill, you want to average it to be worth about 300 gold. Maybe a little bit more. And if we average it 350 gold for 10 kills, right, there should be a 3,500 gold advantage, and there's nowhere near that. They barely have 1,800 right now. They can extend it. They can go for this tier 2, but they're going to have to fully commit to it.
Teleport coming in from Marauder. Going to be playing defense with the rest of enemy on this tier 2, and Randozos, they have not been able to successfully siege shift. They've tried, I believe, 3 or 4 times now. In the mid lane, actually, Amaterasu going to be split pushing here, and a really nice split up. This is the first time we've seen Randozos kind of push 2 lanes at a time, and they are going to get a decent amount of poke off. PolarBearMike going to back up, and a nice little look coming out from Randozos, but a counter blank PainDeViande going to find 3.
PainDeViande getting a lot of damage off there. Great follow-up from Khaos. Great follow-up in the back line with the Suns from PandaCat as well. Net the first kill. Eonic not quick enough on the draw to get out of there.
PolarBearMike in a lot of trouble. Can't wind up his dash. PandaCat finds the last hit an enemy. They've picked off 2 successfully. I think it was a nice run for Randozos, but it's going to be real hard for them to come back into this game. Now that Kali's online, now that Hou Yi's online, now that Khaos on the Soul is online. Scary D going to be trying to defend the Fire Giant. There comes through space and time. Is it off? It is on the mark, but the Fire Giant too high in health.
And some decent
they
damage.
reset.
Well, they're gonna go right back for this. And it
Aduro.
looks like Aduro's going to notice. He's going to take the
Aduro.
shot.
Oh,
No, way too late. Way too late. Enemy
Doesn't have
gets
the vision.
a pretty good gold fear, or rather Fire Giant there, and it seems like they're in a pretty good spot to start making this serious comeback. They have the experience difference back in their favor, and the gold difference within 600.
Somehow, Aduro not level 20, level 18. Where is all this experience at?
I think a lot of the experience lead comes from enemies. Varizial. It's from Scream.
It's got to be Scary D. Or excuse me,
yeah.
for Randozos, right? A lot of their experience is on Scary D, because you can see Eonic,
PBM.
He's 3 levels behind. Aduro's 2 levels behind. Okay, PolarBearMike as well. He's 2 levels up.
And Eonic just hit into 17. That was a 4-level difference right as you started talking.
Which means PolarBearMike actually has the experience lead on Eonic. Eonic has been roaming a lot, looking to force fights, has not been taking care of his own golden experience, it
and
seems.
Scream is just farming the map. We actually have an Executioner coming out after that Fatalis. It looks like enemies jungler
Really wants to shred these
serious
frontliners.
attack speed.
Going to be very effective against PolarBearMike as well as Scary D with not only a Stone Cunning Sword reducing protections, but also the Executioner reducing protections. I mean, basically, PolarBearMike has no protections once a couple auto attacks go off on Kali. Left-hand side going to be sieged. Tier 2 still up. An enemy down 8 kills. They don't care. Just the more experienced team, which is really surprising because all of Randozos have played in the SPL before.
And Pain going to tank this one up. That was a very quick tower. Varizial jumping over. He's going to start, looks like, pushing out this wave.
I mean, there's 4 auto attackers on enemy.
And
they are going to shred these.
And there's 1 mid-Guardian Mail. There's no Runic Shield. There's no Frostbound Hammer. They're not counter-building.
They have a Void Shield. That's it.
And it's not going to help.
At all. Right-hand side, Scary D. Gonna notice Varizial in the jungle and enemy. Actually, they see that Amaterasu's in the right-hand side. They know they can force this, and it's an awkward fight for them.
That's guaranteed Phoenix with the way things are shaping up. Scary D has a chance for a pretty big stun. Bird actually hasn't taken a lot of damage, but for some reason the Clowns are not committing hard enough. Aduro throws his ultimate off, hoping his team will initiate, but too little too late. The Bird falls, the Tier 2s fall around the map as well, and a major lead now for enemy.
Eonic looking to pick one player off, Marauder put into an awkward spot, but I mean, he's the frontliner. He doesn't even care. Eagles rally in place, and the damage isn't enough to blow up the poison. Meerkat does pick off Varizial, actually an important kill with Varizial's ult still up. How did that happen?
Yeah, I guess he was just taking too much damage too quickly. Didn't expect it. Marauder able to get back, teleporting back in now.
Now with the numbers advantage, big slow coming out, and actually PandaCat gonna get stunned. Aduro looking for the portal, just gonna hit the slow. Unstable Vortex on the mark. Scary D finds that kill, and Randozos looking to gain a little bit more control of this game.
They need a Tier 2 here to try to even this gold lead out. They still have about a minute left on this Fire Giant on the side of enemy, which means they need to wait that out as well. It's a very awkward time for them. But with really the 2 carries on the team down, they need to press this advantage as hard as possible. Take the power play and find some gold on the map.
You can see them group up for this right-hand side. Scary D going to be disarmed for now. Aduro on half-life needs to be a little bit careful between all 3 of those players. No blink up, so he can't kind of be surprised there. And you can see Aduro taking a trip back to base. 1 hit left on that right-hand side Tier 2. And Randozos, now they're going to group up. Aduro actually elects not to back. Randozos are taking a long time to do this. Varizial has spawned again.
Marauder taking some fair damage. Is Scary D going right to the back line? Marauder stuck. Khaos stuck as well. There's a possible turnaround here. Eonic finally getting out after using his ultimate this time. Varizial finding his ult button as well.
Enemy, it looks like they're falling apart. PainDeViande got a
No.
cataclysm. And the
Stop
it!
Stop it!
third of the game finds Varizial in the backline, and we thought Enemy had full control of this, but multiple players picked off one at a time.
Scary D taking a lot of damage, has overcommitted to this bird. The rest of his team backed off. A beautiful shot by PandaCat as well. Oh, but Aduro sending some damage back.
Tier 2 and mid
Are we done?
could be looked at. There's 2 players dead right now for Enemy. You can see Eagles Rally is up, but with all those players very low, Randozos think better of it. They're going to be backing off. No Fire Giant left for anyone on Enemy. It's going to be spawning here in 45 seconds, and I think that's what Randozos are looking for. Don't risk losing a fight right before FG spawns.
Right, this is perfect. They take away 2 people. They fight enough on the map to ensure that they can get out and get back to the Fire Giant. They will have a 5v5 here, a slight advantage to Enemy. And the 2 reasons being is, 1, they have Kali, who is the best endgame character, period, because she doesn't die, literally. And then 2, the Phoenix is still down, which means they're going to have some level of control, talking about Enemy, some level of control in the mid lane that the Clowns are going to have to deal with.
It's going to be spawning here in about, I think, a minute, based on when Enemy was able to take it. Left-hand side, Gold Fury going to be taken. Not really needed. Most, if not all players, full builds. Soul looking for her last item, going to be Polynomicon. We have an Executioner or Chin Size coming out from Marauder and PainDeViande, still with his Watcher's Gift to sell. Group up already for Randozos, making sure not to give up Gold Fury. PandaCat, or excuse me, Fire Giant. PandaCat will secure the Gold Fury, and now it's just kind of a waiting game. Rod of Hou Yi has been completed for Soul, as well as for Aduro's Janus. Neither were available in the last couple fights.
They, talking about the Clowns here, they have an opportunity to go directly for the Fire Giant. You'll notice PBM trying to rotate around and spot people out. He's going to see how far back they are. Scary D going real deep, placing a very, very deep ward to ensure a ton of vision control. And I don't know that PainDeViande wants to burn a sentry here just to take care of this vision.
He has to. Khaos has one as well. They know that ward has to be there, though.
Can that ward not see the little one?
No. It's just out of range. Sentry wards are so small now since the nerf. Little baby wards that cost a lot.
Babies are expensive, man.
Yeah, they're real expensive. They're no joke. Vamana as well, like
you got
full
college
build
to pay for, like.
Randozos, Middle Phoenix, you can see on the screen, just respawned. PolarBearMike gonna dash out.
A little bit too slow. I really thought Pain was gonna blink there and try to like force something crazy. Kali on the right side taking a fight.
PolarBearMike.
Eonic taking a lot of damage.
He's gonna have to jump out, but there's the Eagles rally through space and time, a little bit off the mark, but will successfully allow PolarBearMike to get in a much better position.
That's 2 ults burned for 1, and then, I mean, Eagles rally, of course, is very important, whereas PolarBearMike's isn't, but Aduro burning that spear gun, which has been quintessential in their wins here. I don't know.
3 big snipes from him. Connecting on multiplayers, almost actually hit a 4th, right? The first time we saw it over on the left-hand side, looking at PandaCat, just barely off the mark. Oh, PolarBearMike, you can see, looking for the taunt. PandaCat, nice reaction time, gets to the air.
They got the jump, but no one was close enough to really follow it up. PBM trying to keep vision locked down.
Cooldown on PolarBearMike. It is not max, 5% short, but still, these taunts up so often. You can see forcing enemy out. They're so scared. This is when Athena is the strongest. When your team has the momentum and all the other team is in a small corridor. PolarBearMike looking for as many players in the taunt as he can get. Even if he doesn't force the fight, at least burn the purification and reset.
But to do that, he needs to get Geb plus. I mean, he has to find Geb and somebody else. Otherwise, the Geb shield is going to guarantee a free escape from for at least one person. So he has to find Geb plus 1. Geb plus 2.
A squishy, more than likely. Doesn't want to find Marauder.
Geb plus PandaCat, Geb plus Soul. Those are the wins right now.
Even Varizial as well, forcing him to burn his purification or his ultimate.
That's true. I mean, that's one of the difficulties of fighting into this comp. Enemy has 3 characters that need to be controlled, and really they can maybe control 2 at once.
Enemy's positioning has been phenomenal so far. I've only, at least in this, the end of this kind of game right now.
Look at that, how the carries separate from each other if Athena shows up.
And the frontliners as well, in multiple positions to be able to protect whoever they need. Fire Giant has been started. It's that half-life. Randozos, I think they want to commit to this.
Scary D out of position, forced to jump back. Marauder has control.
Nice route.
That was a beautiful shot by Meerkat.
Not a lot of damage, though, on the 2 frontliners. You can see Enemy, PainDeViande actually got to be punching the Fire Giant, taking a couple hits, and now Enemy, they're baiting for the fight. They want Randozos to full commit. They want to allow Varizial to come around the side. I have a question. Why is PolarBearMike playing this skin?
What do you mean?
Like, it's already, like, there's already the audio, right? Coming out from the dash that you know something's dangerous coming, but now it's like a police siren when you charge
but now if they win, and PolarBearMike's on the interview, he can say, yeah, Enemy was acting shady and I put him under arrest, right? That's perfect.
It's great.
It's perfect. I want to talk about a little bit about Meerkat here because
Okay.
I've been notably very hard on him as a solo laner, as a solo lane player myself. I feel like a lot of times when I watched him play in previous seasons, he was copying Divios or he was copying Omega. I never felt like he brought his own style to the table.
You didn't ever see him like win on his own. It was kind of like he would do his job or fail at his job.
He was fine.
Or fail at his job.
He was a very neutral player to me, but for Meerkat to be doing this well against PandaCat in one of his first weeks playing at a competitive level in a role that's literally on the opposite side of the map is so unbelievably impressive to me. It's not an easy thing to do.
I mean, we've seen Snoopy struggle over in the soul lane in his first week up against Marauder.
Are you trying to say that Meerkat's better than Snoopy?
I mean, I'm not saying that. I actually can't say that because hunter-wise, Snoopy was on point. The dance continues. Oh, actually, they're going to turn on to PainDeViande. They're not going to full commit. Varizial actually looking for Meerkat in the backline. Oh, but he actually backflips into an awkward spot. He's going to be stunned out through space and time. Varizial, he's on one hit.
Varizial's too low. He won't be able to continue. Eonic actually does find
There's
the kill.
the counter.
And the poison is actually spread. They're trying to the back line. Meerkat in some trouble there. I don't know if he can completely get away from this unless Duro is able to lock it down.
Look at that poison. It's still going. And look at, the Oboe doing so much work. Somehow, enemy control of this. I'm really surprised to not see Randozos turn it. There's the taunt, but Meerkat charging his ult. No one there, and they're just going to back off. Fire Giant being looked at by enemy. You can see a couple players rotate towards it, but they're going to actually take a trip back to base.
So a ton of skill and a little bit of luck right there for the Randozos. Eonic activating his ultimate perfectly onto Kali to not only stop her from getting that 15% healing once the ultimate ends, but to immediately kill her as it comes down, saving his team. It spreads to the creeps. Nobody takes care of it. It winds up spreading to the entire team, not giving enemy the chase they were looking for. Attacks right now, we're looking at an ult for Meerkat, ult for Scary D, and a Fire Giant that gets reset.
Scary D on zone duty, but can't stop the Gavin. Actually, just going to look for PandaCat, doing a lot of poke damage, but being turned on. Here's Athena ult, and there's the ultimate from Scary D. Panda eliminated a two-man Cataclysm. Scary D does not care. Eonic jumps to the back line, a two-man portal coming out from Maduro, and there's the taunt through space and time. Connects.
Oh no, but Eonic gets picked off, so does Scary D. It winds up being a 2-for-2 at the end of that. I would have lost that bet.
So enemy, once again, showcasing the presence of mind to make us cast as long of games as possible. 76-minute game so far, as well as 41 minutes, 42 minutes into this one. Fire Giant going to be started up.
Please, just peek. Just take a little peeky peek.
No wards. They don't see it.
Like I said, stay free.
Come on, man. Every single time.
No situational awareness. Meerkat walks over.
The team can team fight. The experience is going to hurt them. Yeah. This is one of the reasons that we are seeing why Randozos is considered a bottom team.
And this, to me, like this season is so much different than Season 2 because during Season 2 we had a split. You came to Atlanta, had some fun, won a little bit of money, went home. Same thing for summer. For this time, it's 10 weeks, Sweden, DreamHack playing at the Smite Masters, right? There's no time for you to catch up. It's 100% do or die.
Player disconnected. I'm pretty sure it was... Who are we going to blame here?
Who are we going to blame?
Sit down. Sit down.
That's got to be Adanas.
What? Come on, man. Don't blame me. I got my cord messed up. This is not going so well. But 42 minutes in, enemy still down massively in kills, has somehow managed to hold out against all those picks coming out from Randozos, and it's a dead even game at this point. But Kali.
I mean, that's what it comes down to. Kali. Scary D had a really good play in that last fight, but he overcommitted, took a little bit too much damage. Same thing for Eonic.
A lot of that coming down to the Soul late game. I mean, we'll take a look at the damage charts once we get back in the game, but I mean, I believe Khaos was topping it. If not, it was very close to a Duro. The Stellar Burst doing so much, and honestly, it was the Soul Ultimate coming out, right? Like, you don't really see a lot of effective Soul ults, but all three players, or both players grouped up very heavily, trying to kill PainDeViande, and Soul just managed to hit both of them with almost all of her shots, and that's a lot of damage players don't normally take.
We're just waiting to get back into the game. Remember, guys, this is Game 2 between Randozos and Enemy, second place from Worlds. So far, so good.
And honestly, this game, much better than I expected, right? Enemy, I still underestimate them.
If Enemy's going to beat Luminosity and go this even with the Randozos, I don't know whether to say the Randozos are playing up or Luminosity played down.
So this This is what someone said to me, and I completely understand and believe it. Fall split, enemy had the longest average game time, I think 35 minutes. It was insane for how early kind of a lot of those games were going. They play to their competition. Doesn't matter if they're the best team in the world. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if they're the worst team in the world. Enemy plays to their composition
I do the same.
or to their competition.
That's one of my weaknesses as a player in any game that I play is I play up or down to the person that I'm playing, always. And it's weird because when you play up, it's much easier.
Yes.
When you see someone who everyone thinks is better than you, or you see someone who you look at as an idol.
It's kind of, it's a lot less stressful because it's like, I'm expected to lose here.
Right. Let's see
The
how good
weight's
I
off
can
my
do.
shoulders.
But then when you play to someone who's worse than you are, someone you're expected to beat, it gets in your head.
Especially, and that's I think one of the worst things for enemy here is that they went up against, they literally in their first competition faced power rankings prediction, every single person. It's Luminosity, number 1. They beat them 2-0 with a 76-minute Tom Clancy-esque Splinter Cell there at the end. And then they go up against one of the worst teams that was comparable to them in these power rankings.
See, I hate using the word worst. I mean,
Okay.
it's for all intents and purposes, it's true, but it has such a negative connotation to it. Like, there was a point in time where an 8th seed or a 7th seeded team we would consider not even a part of the SPL.
Mhm.
But if this is the 8th seeded team and they're playing this well against 2nd seed at Worlds, that's incredible.
What I like the most, honestly, is the team fighting potential coming out from Randozos. You could tell, like, and that's what ranked does to you a lot, right? A lot of these players also participating in the SPL, most notably, although none of them really finding a lot of success outside of Eonic, obviously, although he is a substitute, and PolarBearMike taking 3rd in the fall split with Eager, although he was the new man on the roster. He kind of got taught, and he was in a very winning environment, right?
Yeah.
A lot of players with a lot of history, and the team kind of had this progression where they built up to be good. They weren't good at the start. It took them some time, and I think PolarBear is recognizing that with his roster is that I'm going to take the players that I want to play, not only that I want to play with, but I think have the potential to learn and grow as a team. And we're seeing both their strengths and their weaknesses showcased right here against enemy. Team fighting, they're fine. Objectives, really, really bad.
We should talk a little bit about the weird reality that we live in where Eonic has replaced Gars in the jungle.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Gars obviously not having the same passion for the game. And what I liked most from PolarBearMike's statement was the fact that they said this is not about his mechanical skill. He
No.
is still phenomenal. But all the other 4
His heart's not
players
in it.
put so much passion in it. They put so much dedication to practice, and Gars seemed to just kind of show up for practice, and that's it, and just not really care.
I mean, I can't blame Gars, though. I mean, it sucks to lose where he's losing. I mean, he was expected to win Worlds, and instead, they take, what, 3rd?
They take 3rd.
And then
They lose to Cog Prime, who were the winners, and it was a very close set as well.
And then after that, you wind up finding him in a position where he should be going to lands multiple times, doesn't, or rather does well, but he's starting to get the back seat. They beat Envy, then they go into the next land, and they lose to the bottom seed.
One thing about Gars, we are going to throw to a break here in a second. His tweet he went to Worlds. His tweet was, I can't remember exactly, but it was basically like he was heartbroken that he was not on that stage once again, and then he ends up on the Randozos, and then I think that was just kind of it for him.
It's hard. Gars, we love you. We hope to see you back. It's cool to see Eonic on a team as well. Snoopy's still standing strong. Boosh still standing strong. Divio's still standing strong. So
Real
most
good.
of the comps still available. We'll be right back, guys, with the conclusion of the Clowns versus Enemy. Stick around. Welcome back. Sorry for the delay, cats and kittens. We are here live with Enemy and Randozos. We just rewounded about 10 seconds to make sure you guys didn't miss any of the action.
Time travel.
Yes.
I've been watching Gate. This is great.
All
Steins
those
Gate.
zeros that you see on the respawn timer, that's just a spectator glitch when we pause the game when someone's dead. They are all currently respawning.
So when they're up, they'll be up, but we're not going to really know exactly. I believe the pickoffs just happened.
Yeah, they'll be coming up in just a second. Both of the people on the Randozos should have about 3 seconds. 5
Gold
seconds
Fury
left.
being looked at, although no one really needs it on either team. Just a couple items to be finished. You can see Aduro actually looking for Soul Reaver to finish off, and then Athena, I believe, Witchblade. Finally,
Yes.
the anti-attack
Oh,
speed.
God, how long does that? Like, how long did it have to go on? Enemy will take another objective. Again, not super necessary. There are no tier 2 towers on this side of the map for them to go for.
Oh, Eonic could be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah,
Dashes away,
Meerkat
recognizes
probably
that.
is going to have trouble getting away.
Can we take a look at damage charts? Because this was actually brought up to me in the meantime. You can see Serket almost equal with the 2 supports in the game.
Yeah.
The problem with Eonic, though, is that as a Serket, it's very hard to dive into these late AoE bursts. You saw the one time he actually ulted a player inside the Suns, got 100 to 0'd. Marauder.
I don't know why he didn't take that ultimate chance. But
this might be the first real siege we've seen on a Phoenix. 42 minutes in, we have not seen one yet.
They're going for it on the left side. It's actually taking a lot of damage very quickly. The bird falls very fast. PandaCat gets picked up. It's going to be a 1 for 0 so far. Marauder trying for it.
Varizial actually going real deep, looking for his reset. He does get a kill, but it's not his target.
It might have been. He was actually
the anti-heal actually not effective, and now Eonic surges forward. There's the soul ultimate, gonna miss everyone. Aduro portals forward, looking to split the uprights, and Marauder in a lot of trouble.
That threshold's coming soon, and it's gonna destroy. Beautiful taunt coming out. It looks like they're gonna try to focus down Marauder. The
team split. The team couldn't decide. They do pick up Khaos, and they might be able to catch Marauder here on the side. PainDeViande is running away. Was that a teleport from? Okay, so Marauder actually teleports away, recognizing the targets with the hard CC, actually going after Khaos instead.
Now they have about 30 seconds here without Eonic. This means they have a chance to go for basically 2 of the tier 2s. They can't really push into that Phoenix without being at major risk, at least not with only 3 people here. So it's likely we're going to see this push down. You'll see in the mid lane, Eonic already working those creeps down to go for the second tier 2 as well. I would have liked to see Scary D actually trade this out already. He's taking a lot of damage, and it's starting to stack up pretty heavily.
Tier 2 and mid, still up. No other towers on the board for Randozos to take. Scary D left alone. Marauder
He'll be fine.
Gonna put out some poke, but I mean, late game Warrior versus Warrior, it's not gonna be a lot. The Warriors are gonna be killed by more than likely the Assassins, Mages, or Hunters specifically, who do a lot to these frontliners with chins.
Plus, it's Amaterasu. I mean, there's no way you catch Amaterasu.
Get the movement speed. I don't. Hey man, Marauder tried to last time. He ulted a 20% movement speed. Amaterasu and was off by like half a lane.
Yeah, 25% movement speed. You got a 55-foot dash. I mean, there's not really a way that you catch her in that scenario. So.
Blue buff going to be going over to PainDeViande, looking for a little bit more CDR, but I think he's already overcapped, so doesn't really need the blue buff at all. I would like to see that go over to a different player just to get that 10% CDR and help them out. PainDeViande. He picked up blue buff, although he has max CDR already.
Yes, actually, he's already 5% over, which means now he's 15% over.
That actually could have been very important for PandaCat. The last 2 fights have actually been PandaCat getting picked off by Scary D, full committing and diving him. That extra 10% CDR could have allowed him to have maybe a second dive bomb away in a fight. But a small thing here is Fire Giant going to be spawning up in 50 seconds. No one with a buff anymore.
Eonic full build here, heavily critted. As you see, 40% between Malice and Deathbringer. So if he gets 2 crits off, it's a pretty low chance for 40% to proc twice in a row, or at least 2 out of 3. But if you do get that, I mean, that's a dead carry.
So one thing to note about enemy's team composition, both 2 oboes and 3 chin size. Not only a ton of attack speed, but honestly, a lot of burst on the frontline characters. Scary D is going to have to be careful.
Sold the Witchblade and bought Sovereignty.
Why?
20 protection is not as good as 20 damage reduction.
I mean, maybe he needed the health, but honestly, he hasn't been getting all in or 100 to 0. He
Trouble
hasn't been
here
the
in the
focus
back line. Meerkat getting rushed down super hard, and the Varizial is going to clean that one up for free. He's stuck under tower, but shouldn't have much trouble getting away.
That's real bad. You can see Aduro, I believe he just ulted over, and Randozos not wanting to take the fight. Obviously, they're down a man. Enemy, they're just going to back up and reset. That's going to be another ultimate down for Randozos. No through space and time. Fire Giant, though, it doesn't look like it's being looked at yet. The team actually taking an awkward path to it if they do. Left-hand side, Randozos looking to split push, actually. They're going to give up fire. They're going to concede Fire Giant and try for a base race, but they don't have the wave at all.
They're trying to deal with the fire minions right now, because the final 2 wave of fire minions will take down their Phoenix. The issue here is, so will a 4 auto attack comp, going up against a Phoenix that's already debuffed. It's perhaps a wasted effort here, as no one takes the chance to go for it. With PainDeViande having such high CDR, his ultimate's already back up. Marauders soon to be back up as well.
Phoenix just respawned, which means the left-hand side, I think that wave on the bottom left, actually not fire minions. And now it's going to be a group up here for enemy. On the right-hand side, they're going to take down the last tower. Obviously something that Randozos don't really need to contest or force. Left-hand side in the jungle, actually, it looks like the team is trying to pick off Marauder here, who laughs off the damage.
right side. PainDeViande still taking the tower up, decides to troll Khaos a little bit, giving it back. Now he wants to go back in. Even so, they're going to be able to clear this one up. Another 1,500 gold, albeit a little bit unnecessary at this stage. Not much to buy left, as even the support looks like has a purple pot
One
going.
Midgardian male, the only anti-attack speed that Randozos have against a Kali Soul Hou Yi.
It's not just the map, it's their ability in the game that doesn't involve fighting, it seems, is weak. Their overall knowledge of the game is much weaker than their opponents. Enemy has crafted a great comp. They're noticing that they're not going into an attack speed or reduction builds, so they're going into even more attack speed. It's very smart.
Enemy gonna surge forward.
Might be some trouble. I think we're going to see a timeout here in just a second. PandaCat taking some damage in the backline. Scary D doing a decent amount of work there, but of course a clean Geb shield.
And in the middle, Varizial actually able to take out a Phoenix as well. Two uncontested Phoenixes. It's going to be a pause.
Yeah, there's the timeout. I think this has to do with PBM right now. We'll give it a second while the Randozos get their stuff together.
You see PolarBearMike there in the corner having some issues. One Phoenix remains for Randozos, and this is going to be real hard. No fire minions to deal with right now, but 4 players with a lot of attack speed and a single Midgardian male, which has to be hit. And right now, enemy, they've put 0. That's what I'm most surprised about with the Witchblade cell is that we haven't really seen the team even focus PolarBearMike. There's no point for them to focus that support this late into the game unless they're trying to pick him off. And PolarBearMike really hasn't been in a bad position at all to where he was getting picked off. It's been other players who've been caught out. And I think that's actually a pretty big hit. I mean, that's, I believe, 20% less attack speed with the Witchblade. Is it that low?
I think it's, yeah, it's definitely 20
decent.
Because Frostbound is 15 and Frostbound will overwrite. So...
quick pause, though. We'll be getting back in. Once again, guys, sorry for the delay. Randozos, though, looking like, I don't know if they're going to win this, right? They could still come back, right? This is still a team fight. 0 fire minions to deal with right now. Obviously, they've been doing very well in the team fights. Unfortunately, enemy in a good spot to just all in the Titan maybe here. And Randozos, a lot of potential I'm seeing from this squad.
I think the easy win condition here for enemy is just separate Meerkat and let Kali find that kill again.
Even into Fountain, right? We saw Cyclone Spin come up with a Penta in the Fountain last time.
Looks like we're back in. Pauses through. Everyone seems to be back in order, but all 3 birds are down. Not a great position. It looks like they're going to take everything off the map as they rush towards red buff and then maybe right into Gold Fury.
I don't think they're going to go for Gold Fury. They recognize everyone's full build now. Really no point. They're going to backspin their gold onto power potions and siege up all 3. See, this is what I like. Enemy playing so smart. They're not trying to force it without fire minions.
You see the inventories just lighting up with 3 K-pots?
Oh, no.
Varizial has one. PandaCat already popped his. I'm pretty sure Khaos did as well. This is
so this is actually the second time a gold lead comes into effect. The first time is getting your 6th item, right? A lot of teams will be 4 items completed to 5.5 usually. That's when the gold lead is very important, finishing off those builds. And then there's a second important gold lead, which comes into play around the 45-minute plus mark that we're seeing. Oh no, Eonic.
It's not. It is enough damage.
He's
that
dead.
will be a kill. No, Geb shield. Too quick. PainDeViande with the save. So Meerkat saves, and then right after Pain saves, both junglers escape, and now PBM in a little bit of trouble. But of course, another savior rears his head as we see Aduro creating a door.
Fire minions on the left-hand side, all the way pushed up to the Phoenix in the right and middle, about halfway up the lane. And enemy, they're going to be playing it safe.
These shots, like honestly,
I don't know, man. Big taunt coming out from PolarBearMike, looking for 2 players, but Randozos don't want a full commit. They're just trying to bait enemy to using as many relics as possible. You can see their sprints down so far, 2 purification off the board, and more importantly, one of them on Kali.
Spirit
only blink. Kali no ultimate. If Randozos know the timing of this, the fact that Kali doesn't have CDR, a blink hit by Varizial though, looking for Scary D.
That is a warrior, by the way, that just took that much damage that quickly.
No attack speed reduction, man.
Both carries just tearing through. The Phoenix is still down. Titan's still standing, quite strong. Still almost full health. Full health. Wow.
You can see these fire minions starting to become a factor though. Right-hand side, they haven't gotten there yet. Another big taunt coming up from PolarBearMike. Unstable Vortex. Going to poke out Marauder here, and the siege continues.
Fire Giant about to fall off. You notice about 5 seconds left on this buff. Titan's under attack again. They're clear. They're playing Space Invaders amazingly here.
All 3 fire waves finally pushed up here. Who makes the first mistake? Who steps out of position first? It's
So far,
Marauder at
Marauder.
half-life. A big taunt coming out for PolarBearMike for the 3rd time in a row. Khaos going to return the damage. There's Meerkat's ult, but Varizial, he has destruction online.
They're going for it. Aduro gets hit by the ultimate, but not enough. It looks like
At Oboe.
enemy is going to back off.
Two
Wow.
players at under half-life, more importantly, one of them being Khaos. Eonic, I don't think he wants to give this up. His Blink's online. Look at Eonic. He could be looking for Marauder or Khaos. Khaos will go into his corporeal form in just a second. Cancels it out.
He's going to
There's
blink.
the Blink. Looking for Khaos.
And
No.
he's got him. Geb Shield might be able to save him. Beautiful taunt, though. It's going to be Geb +1 to find it. A 1-for-1 so far as Scary D finds a pretty decent stun, but no follow-up.
Really surprised there that Scary D didn't commit further into that fight. I mean, last breath on, I believe, 2 other targets, PainDeViande and one more. I believe it was Kali. Varizial a little bit low as well. But the team, Randozos, I think playing a little bit scared. To be fair, all 3 of their Phoenix are about to spawn.
Did you see that?
No, I had my head turned.
He was trying to kill the elementals, and he was clearly thinking about doing something, and as he shot the final shot, he stood still, whether he was opening the shop or thinking about what he wanted to do. The Oboe procced it, hit the fire giant, and then he just like had a panic and run away. No one here to contest this. Another free fire giant is... They're trying to clean up these waves. They have 3 waves of fire minions on the field right now to deal with, and it's possible. Yeah, it's going to be a final 3. There's one in the mid, one in the right, one in the left.
But these Phoenixes, they're not respawning fast enough. You can see enemy, they're grouped up, all 5 members on the right-hand side. Randozos not in a good position. If they're going to force something, it's got to be right now.
All they really need to do. Oh, no, I disagree. I think. Oh, you're talking about the Randozos.
Yes.
I think that enemy needs to just back up and let their presence be obnoxious and let these fire minions do the work for them. Because in the mid lane, it's about to happen. Varizial very low here. Eonic not here to clean it up.
Through space and time. Not again. Aduro. Oh, just off the
God.
mark. Varizial doesn't walk into it. But now Randozos have control, have the momentum.
Phoenix has died. Left side, it looks like, should be able to be saved.
PandaCat. He gets 2 Phoenixes. He is going to pay with his life, though. Enemy, real sloppy late into the game. They can't seem to break Randozos' defense, and Randozos holding strong. Varizial, for me, just a non-factor in this match.
I wonder what they're going to go for here. With 2 Phoenixes down, it's best they control the right side of the map. I think, and this is obviously a little crazy.
Oh, no. Brandon, crazy?
I think they should group up through space and time to a Phoenix and try to just end the game.
All in. I mean, they've been on the back foot for the past 25, 30 minutes.
They got to make a play. I mean, at this point,
so they're
going to
enemy. They're going to enemy.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm pretty sure Dig was the first people to really grime it out.
Drop ship. I still remember that.
Really get that grime going.
Down a player too, I believe.
Grimy. But it doesn't look like they're going to take that opportunity. You see them spread out throughout the map, still trying to deal with these fire minions. 2 lanes still burning down. Left side Phoenix still at half.
Khaos, 9 wards placed this late into the game. Does have an inventory full now. Doesn't really matter too much. Gold, a non-factor.
29 wards placed by PolarBearMike.
I mean,
26
from
Scream as well.
God, man, I wish you would have stuck. I wish you would have kept Scream. Scream
is
so
a much better
good.
name than Varizial.
I feel like there's always a Scream at a top-level esport. Right-hand side, or actually left-hand side. Oh, Aduro's in a lot of trouble. He's trying to make it through his portal. Sanctuary on top. That's bad. Aduro picked off in his own jungle. Eonic trying to turn it on to Khaos, but there's the Geb shield in the corporeal form. That's 2 kills. Enemy. They tried so hard to break Randozos' base, but it's Randozos caught outside of their base that may end this one.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be the end. Varizial right to the back line, starts tearing through Meerkat. The beads are down. This should be a pretty clean win here on out. Enemy should find their victory 2-0. A little bit early on that ultimate, but I don't think it should hurt them too much. Enemy finds a very clean win.
Little anticlimactic.
That was a very awkward ending.
2 players picked off there in the end in their own jungle. Good play by enemy by recognizing that, and Randozos just trying to get any momentum, trying to get any hold of the game as they can. Aduro for me, though.
I mean, game 1 and game 2, he was focused a lot and still managed to get these amazing kills. Let's take a look at just a few of the random spirit guns this guy threw. Look at this.
Boom. 3 of them. I think the next to that, Phoenix.
All the way to the back. Like, what in the world?
There was one more, I believe, as well. But that one kind of, I think, in the middle of the lane. He actually, like, just read him. Yeah. He had to look at him. The dude he sniped was he's like, looking at him, still finds it. Aduro, fantastic performance from him, but not enough for Randozos to overcome Enemy, who are now undefeated in the SPL at the start of week 2. Not something anyone had expected.
4-0 score, I think, ties them with Panthera. So the top 2 at Worlds still riding the top right now in their respective regions.
Luminosity, 0-2, losing to Enemy, who continue to kind of play to their competition. I think that's kind of the tagline we're going to be looking at for them, see if they can finally break that. Let's take a look at the rest of the games you're going to be seeing, not only today, but the rest of the week. That was game 1. Oh, my word. Allegion's going to be taking on Denial up next, and then we're going to be ending the night with a team we have not seen yet.
Yeah, Soar about to make their debut against the, I think, top-seeded Envy. A lot of people are looking at these guys to kind of carry the rest of North America. Enemy, of course, being slept on as always. It's possible that we see Envy and Enemy facing off again in a grudge match at DreamHack, but we're still a few weeks away from that. We'll be back with Denial versus Allegiance in just a few minutes, guys. Stick around.